Now we're going to turn to another heavy topic often at play in domestic situations, and that's the topic of sexual violence. Reporting crimes like that is hard, and it can often re-traumatize the person reporting it, and that makes holding the offenders accountable even more difficult. So there's a new effort going on in the East Metro, just starting up, to make sure sexual assault survivors get the help they need. And Jennifer Hoff shows us how that program is supposed to be giving survivors more control on how to move forward if and when they choose.
Yeah.
She started as a theater major. Now Megan Ray is a sexual assault advocate, helping people in every stage of life impacted by violence.
Oftentimes I hear people say, I don't know how you do what you do. I think for me, what I lean on every day is that it's very personal.
Do you think then that role set you up to be successful in the one you are now?
Absolutely. I show up in an expert of knowing what your options are and what does that look like for you.
Oftentimes survivors are left in limbo between reporting a crime and being supported that fulfills their definition of justice.
How do we find the middle ground? And that's where On My Terms shows up.
The Ramsey County Public Health Program was launched just last summer, giving those survivors more control over how to report an assault. That first includes going directly to an advocate like Megan instead of a police officer or hospital.
We're really reaching out to communities that aren't reporting because that is their barrier.
The next step allows survivors to decide whether to process a report further and review it with an investigator, while the last decision is whether they want to open a formal investigation.
The investigations are complex not only because of the style of the investigative process itself, but it's because we are dealing with human beings.
Vlad Krumgen is a longtime St. Paul police sergeant who works in the sexual violence unit and directly with the county to combat these crimes.
As an officer, obviously, I want to put the perpetrator, the offender, in jail for the crime they committed. If that's not feasible for whatever circumstances are, the other form of success is at least the victim survivor got the resources that they needed.
The county helped about 800 people last year.
Is that high?
I think it's high. But I know that there are people we aren't reaching.
Evidence stored at the police department before moving to the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. But more times than not, there isn't any, in part because 63% of victims don't report this crime due to an antiquated process that may not work the best for everyone, now being revamped to let survivors make the best decisions for their own healing.
If we can connect them right away at the forefront to get the stabilization, they're going to be far more successful moving forward with the criminal justice system if they want to.
There's also this to note too, rarely advocates reach out to survivors unless they're, say, a family member who has referred them. Instead, they really are encouraging survivors to come forward when they're ready. There is an On My Terms 24-hour resource hotline that's available, along with their own website that we have posted on KARE11.com. Jana.
And Jennifer, I don't know if they talked about this, but if they use that resource, can it just be the beginning of a conversation? Maybe the person isn't ready to go all the way to charges, but can it just give them some indications about what could happen?
100%, and that is the whole point of the title, even On My Terms. You can, that's what makes this program so unique. You can go directly to an advocate first, and then you can decide just how far you want to take that, whether it's then reporting it and then investigating and full on perhaps entering the criminal justice system, which we know a lot of people just simply don't want to do for several reasons.
Right, 63%, that's a big number. Thank you so much, Jennifer, appreciate it.